It's a Saturday morning and we're at Manchester Grammar School in the summer term. We're going to go on a little trip to the school gallery. As you enter reception, it's just a few paces away from the main reception desk. Onto the main corridor and into the gallery space, a purpose-built space where we have changing exhibitions throughout the year and use it as an educational space for pupils. The current exhibition features some of our youngest artists, the pupils in years 5, 6, 7 and 8 who have recently returned to the art halls after a little break thanks to COVID where they've been taught in classrooms. The year 5 have been looking at the artist Mark Hurld, who's a British artist known for collage, print, paint and other media, but he works with animal themes and you can see those themes very clearly in this lovely work. There's a range of materials being used and collage. Let's have a good look at these foxes with trees in the background, drawn elements, the birds, the animals. Some of the work has become very illustrative. Look, that cat looks like it's part of a story. But the work is fabulous and the pupils have experimented and tried lots of things and all pupils have an outcome. In year 6, pupils have followed a similar format, looking at the work of Angie Lewin, another British artist with floral themes. You can see in the workbook some of the tasks look a little bit more complicated. Each class has developed work on a similar media and processes, yet you can see variation, the colours, the subtleties in the work. There's some printmaking there. In here we can see that there's a bit of overdrawing with paint pens onto the surface of that work. And if we come across here, there's some very delicate cutting going on. Look at those really carefully cut leaves. These are like a little still life. The bird and the floral elements are now in a scene with sort of wallpaper features. In year 7, we really focus on skill development and we teach a common core to all pupils. We work through work booklets these days rather than sketchbooks, but these become little packs full of loads of infills and sheets and one-offs, so they do become personalised. The first thing we do is really focus on drawing, looking at proportion, tone, volume, mark making and all the basics. These are things that we refer to from these work booklets time and time again and build on through the years at school. But each teacher develops their own personal tasks. These pumpkins were done by some pupils in Mrs. Dobbs' class and some of these leaves by Mrs. Davidson's pupils. And the dinosaurs down the bottom, notice the standard grid drawing task has then been developed into these little illustrative colour pieces where they've added additional media on top. But the pupils have gone on then to develop a range of other work. So we've been looking at microforms and developing these cell-like structures and designs. They've experimented with different materials as they've been designing and playing and trying things out. And they've made ceramic tiles. These tiles have now been painted and are nearly finished. We have moving on to print and then painting later on this term. Now it's over to year 8. Now let's think about this year group. They spent the whole year last year on the maths corridor, so had not entered the studios till September this year. Now we wanted them to get their hands dirty and experience some major equipment in the art studios to compensate. So they've been designing owls and you can see in this process they've cut them out from lino and then overprinted with second colours. Some pupils have gone on to add more than 2 colours, but you can see the real range and variety of work. As pupils are developing more owls, they're cutting out a copy and sticking it on the wall in the gallery on the owl tree. The other half of the year group have been in ceramics and they have been making 2 little pinch pots. These have been inspired by natural form. If you look at them closely, you can see imprinted textures and added on features they've built out from them. They've also glazed this work in places or added oxide or a combination of both, which gives the additional surface qualities to the work. Let's have a look at the range and variety, very creative. Our year 7 artists have obviously only made a tile and will go on to make some sort of 3-dimensional form next year. In the cabinet, these pupils have looked at sea urchins and things from under the sea and they've been displayed quite nicely with a group of shells. But what do they do beyond lessons? Our young artists are in at lunchtimes, filling the studios and working around our examination pupils. We have Screen Print and Pottery Club after school and we have lunchtime drawing clubs and other things going on each day. There's art drop-ins. These pupils were working on a science project, and we encourage you, if you're doing something creative, to come in and we'll help you and give you some guidance, hopefully give you a few materials as well. Here we have an example of an art homework which is called an art off, where pupils can make anything at all. It could be baking a cake, it could be designing something, it could be a Lego build. Whatever it is, we invite them to come into school and talk about it and share their creativity with the class. So we can see these ones are all paintings. This guitar at the bottom is sort of like a landscape. This has only been developed this week. It's been painted on cardboard and brought in and is straight on the gallery wall. We're incredibly proud of these artists that have only been back in the studios since September.